Good afternoon and a very warm welcome to this live broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in collaboration with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. Today being Thursday, August 7th, 2025. My name is Doris Gitonga and I'll be taking you through the order of business that is expected this evening. There will be a motion on consideration of the fourth report on the examination of the financial statements of selected state corporations, a motion by the Chairperson Public Investment Committee on Social Services Administration and Agriculture. If you're just joining us, as you can see on your screens, the Speaker of the National Assembly is making his way to the chamber. Allow me to hand you over for the afternoon sitting. Do enjoy your viewing. Nice afternoon.
Waheshimiwa, tuombe. Ewe Mwenyezi Mungu ambaye kwa hekima na wema wako umetoa nyadhifa za viongozi na mabunge kwa ustawi wa jamii na utawala wa haki wa wanadamu, tukusihi utazame kwa neema nyingi sisi watumishi wako ambao umeridhika kutuita ili tutekeleze shughuli muhimu za jamhuri yetu. Tunakuomba uteremshie baraka zako sisi tuliokutanika hapa na utujalie tuyatende na kufikiria mambo yote yatakayofikishwa mbele yetu kwa njia ya haki na uaminifu, ili utukufu na sifa zako ziendelezwe, na ili kustawisha amani, ufanisi na heri ya nchi yetu na wale ambao hawajasahau umezikabidhi mikononi mwetu. Amen. Honorable King Arab, even before the house starts, I've told you, prayer is a very, very, very solemn moment. We can't be praying on your own phone. It is not right. Respect God. Our constitution says we are guided by God of all creations, including you. Please don't do that again. If it is so pressing, you can step out and make your call. But we can't be praying, supplicating ourselves to God and your own phone in the chamber. Sergeant, ring the quorum bell. Madam Deputy Speaker, you have to help me on this. This is unacceptable. We are all God-fearing, and let's respect it.
If you're just joining us, this is a live broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in collaboration with Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. It's a live broadcast of the National Assembly this Thursday, August 7th, 2025. The Speaker has just ordered for the quorum bell to be rung. This is pursuant to Standing Order 34.1, where it states that a quorum of the House or of a committee of the whole shall be 50 members. If there's not a quorum present when the chair is taken at the time appointed for a meeting of the House, immediately after saying of the prayer, the Speaker shall order the bell to be rung for 10 minutes, and if no quorum is present at expiration of the 10 minutes, the Speaker may direct that the bell be rung for a further 5 minutes, and if there is still no quorum present, the Speaker shall adjourn the House forthwith to the next sitting. My name is Doris Nkatha. Allow me to take you through the motions and order of business today. As I'd mentioned earlier, one of the motions that is to be considered in the House today is the consideration of the fourth report of the examination of financial statements of selected state corporations. This is a motion by the Chairperson Public Investments Committee on Social Service Administration and Agriculture. that this House adopts the fourth report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the following state corporation, laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th October 2024. The National Social Security Fund, financial year 2019-2020, the Communications Authority, financial year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019, Child Welfare Society of Kenya, financial year 2014-2015, the Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, financial year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019 and 2019-2020, and the Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis, financial year 2014-2015, 2015-2016, 2016-2017, and 2017 and 2018. Thereafter, a question will be put. The Kenya Sign Language Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2023 by the Honorable... All right.
Clerk. Yes.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair. Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Yes. Majority Leader. Yes. Yeah. Chair, Departmental Committee on Labor. Labor.
Yeah.
Chonga.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of this House today, Thursday, 7th August 25. Report on the delegation to the 113th session of the International Labour Conference held in Geneva, Switzerland on the 2nd to 13th of June.
Thank you. Next.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Skip order number 7. Let's dispose of orders number 8, number 9, and 10.
Order number 8, motion. Consideration of the fourth report of on the examination of financial statements of selected state corporations. Question to be put.
Hold on. Order members on their feet. Take your seats. Thank you. Order members, I'll now put the question at order number 8, which is that this House adopts the fourth report of the Public Investments Committee on Social Services, Administration and Agriculture on its consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statements of the following state corporations laid on the table of the House on Thursday, 17th October 2024. A, National Social Security Fund, financial year 2019-2020. B, Communications Authority, financial year 2017-2018 and 2018-2019. C, Child Welfare Society of Kenya, financial year 2014-2015. D, Sacco Societies Regulatory Authority, financial years 2017-2018, 2018-2019 and 2019-2020. E, Kenya Institute for Public Policy Research and Analysis, financial year 2014-2015, 2015-2016, 2016-2017, and 2017-2020. As members of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next.
Order number 9, the Kenyan Sign Language Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2023, second reading, question to be put.
Members on their feet, take your seats. Take the nearest seat, Honorable Member. I'll now put the question at order number 9, which is that the Kenya Sign Language Bill, Senate Bill number 9 of 2023, be now read a second time. As many as of that opinion say aye. Aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to give effect to Article 7(3)(b) of the Constitution on the promotion and development of the use of Kenyan Sign Language, to give effect to Article 54(1)(d), to provide for the inclusion of sign language in education curriculum, to provide for the use of sign language in legal proceedings and for connected purposes.
Honorable members, on the request of the majority leader, order number 10 is stepped down for further consultation. So he says, we'll go to dispose of order number 11 as well, but before it's called out, allow me to recognize in the Speaker's Gallery, AIC Kosirai Girls School from Chesumei, Nandi, Kakenya Girls School from Transmara West, Narok. In the public gallery, St. Michael Kawalase School from Turkana Central, Turkana. Our Lady of Fatima Academy from Moiben, Uasin Gishu. Makini School, Kisumu from Kisumu Central. Open Arms Academy from Kapsaret, Uasin Gishu. On my behalf and on behalf of the House, I welcome the students, their teachers, and those accompanying them to the House of Parliament. Thank you. Yes, mother. Give him the mic. Half a minute. Give him the mic. You are giving... Is that Honorable Koimburi? Yes.
Thank you so much, Speaker.
Yes.
I want to thank you so much for the opportunity, because St. Michael Kawalase Primary School, it's a very rare opportunity for them to visit Parliament, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say that this could be the first one, maybe in a century or even in a decade. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank them for coming together with their teachers. This is where we have been able to speak about the River Kawalase protection, flood protection project that has never been able to work. And rest assured that we are on toes with government to see if that project can be able to work out. I want to thank you because I know you are hardworking pupils, and also disciplined. One of the schools that is doing well in the constituency or in the county. Keep it up, and we welcome you to be leaders just the same way we are doing. Thank you, Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mother. Call out order number 11.
Order number 11, motion, alteration of the calendar of the House.
Osoro.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant, that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 13th February 2025 and 27th May 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order number 28 of the calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to, 1, hold sittings on Tuesday 19th August, and I beg, Honorable Speaker, that members take note of that hold sittings on Tuesday 19th August 2025 commencing at 10 a.m. in the case of a morning sitting, and 2:30 p.m. in the case of an afternoon sitting, and 2, commence its long recess on Wednesday, 20th August 2025, and finally, Honorable Speaker, resume its regular sittings for the third part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 16th September 2025, as per the published calendar of the House. Honorable Speaker, the intention of this motion, Honorable Speaker, is to alter this House calendar and have a special, more or less a special, I'll call it special, Honorable Speaker, for lack of a better term, sitting on the Tuesday, just a single day, on 19th of August 2025. And in this particular day, Honorable Speaker, that we will be holding a morning sitting. Very unusual, Honorable Speaker, in this House that we hold morning sittings on Tuesdays. And that is why I implore members to be very, very keen that on 19th, we'll hold a morning sitting, and that is 10 a.m. in that very day, and 2:30 p.m., so that, Honorable Speaker, we dispense of the business for this session entirely, then break for recess on the following day, that of course will be 20th August, Honorable Speaker, and resume on 16th August, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, when you look at the calendar, as we moved in this House, Honorable Speaker, about, and that is, of course, 27th May 2025, we had proposed that we progressed for recess, Honorable Speaker, the coming week, Honorable Speaker, but we have serious business, Honorable Speaker, before this House to dispense of. And members are advised to be in the House on 19th. We dispense of that business on at 10 a.m., Honorable Speaker, and then be there at 2:30 afternoon, Honorable Speaker, and then proceed for recess on 20th, which is very, very important, Honorable Speaker. So I beg to move and request the most gracious Majority Whip, the Honorable Millie Mabona, to second.
Honorable Millie.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand to second that motion and thank Honorable Osoro for ceding his position and allowing me to be the Majority Whip. I do not mind. Having said that, Mr. Speaker, I think this is a fairly straightforward matter. Many of us know that this was our scheduled time to go on the long recess. But Parliament has a lot of things going, and given that we are very committed to devolution, many of us are also going to be participating in the devolution conference. And because of that, Mr. Speaker, we want certain important issues that are before the House to appear when members are in the House. But also we do appreciate that during this period of recess, then we take time, we spend time with our children, with our grandchildren, and those who may have great-grandchildren, they also spend time with them. Otherwise, I do second. It's very straightforward. Thank you. Yes, I second.
You beg to
Yes,
second?
I do second. I said I do second.
Order members on their feet, take your seats. McClap, take the nearest seat. Haika, take your seat. Order. Wamboka, take your seat. Honorable members, I'll now propose the question at order number 11, which is that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 13th February 2025 and 27th May 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 28-4, calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to 1. Hold sittings on Tuesday, 19th August 2025, commencing at 10 a.m. in the case of the morning sitting and 2:30 p.m. in the case of the afternoon sitting. 2. Commence its long recess on Wednesday, 20th August 2025. And 3. Resume its regular sittings for the third part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 16th September 2025, as per the published calendar of the House. I put the question? Yes. Honorable members, I'll now put the question, which is that notwithstanding the resolution of the House of 13th February 2025 and 27th May 2025, and pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 28-4, calendar of the Assembly, this House resolves to further alter its calendar so as to 1. Hold sittings on Tuesday, 19th August 2025, commencing 10 a.m. in the case of a morning sitting and 2:30 p.m. in the case of an afternoon sitting. 2. Commence its long recess on Wednesday, 20th August 2025, and 3. Resume its regular sittings for the third part of the fourth session on Tuesday, 16th September 2025, as per the published calendar of the House. As members of that opinion say aye. Will those of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next. Now go back to order number 7.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now we'll go to Majority Leader. Majority Leader, your Thursday statement.
All right. Honorable Speaker, if you allow, Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Osoro is holding a kamukunji that blocks. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2A, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 5th August 2025, to prioritize business for consideration during the week. Honorable Speaker, as members have noticed in the order paper, I intend to move a motion for alteration of the calendar of the House, for which we have already done, Honorable Speaker, to hold sittings on Tuesday, 19th August 2025, and commence the long recess on Wednesday, 20th August 2025. Honorable Speaker, I would like to inform members that are here and that are not here that we proceed on our short recess from the 20th of August 2025 because we have earmarked and we have approved in this House today that August 19th be a day, on Tuesday, August 19th be a day when we have a morning sitting to deliberate and finish some of the business that is pending, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, this is for the information of members and also that they are aware. Honorable Speaker, I urge members to be present in the House on that day to prosecute various items of business concerning them. My Speaker, with regard to business scheduled for Tuesday next week, the House is expected to consider the Virtual Asset Service Providers Bill 2025 and the Election Offences Amendment Number 2 Bill, Senate Bill Number 28 of 2024 in the Committee of the Whole. Honorable Speaker, you remember we moved and debated this very important bill that emanates from the NATCO report, and it is important that we finalize it as we gear up for elections in 2027, Honorable Speaker, that we dispense of this very important bill. And therefore, that Tuesday, one of the items on the order paper is the elections offense bill that emanates from the Senate. Honorable Speaker, additionally, debate will be undertaken on the following motions, some of which are listed in the order paper today. Consideration of a nominee for appointment as a member of the Board of Central Bank of Kenya. 2, consideration of report on the examination of financial statements of selected state corporations. And 3, consideration of comprehensive economic partnership agreement between the Republic of Kenya and the United Arab Emirates. Honorable Speaker, these 3 motions, Honorable Speaker, are important that we dispense of before we embark on our recess. Honorable Speaker, in accordance with the provisions of Standing Order 42A, 5 and 6, I wish to convey that the Cabinet Secretary for Education and the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration are scheduled to appear before the House on the afternoon of Wednesday, 13th August 2025, to respond to the following questions by members. Honorable Speaker, you know, we were scheduled to see these 2 Cabinet Secretaries on Wednesday, That's yesterday. Yes, but we were unable to have them on that day. But Honorable Speaker, the Cabinet Secretary for Education will respond to the following questions. Question by private notice number 11 of 2025 by the member for Emuhaya, the Honorable Omboko Milemba, CBS MP, regarding funding for participation by public primary and secondary schools in co-curricular activities. Honorable Speaker, secondly, the Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration, the Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, will respond to the following questions. One, and I request members to be present on that day if you have a question that is listed, Honorable Speaker, yeah? On Wednesday, 13th. The Cabinet Secretary for Interior and National Administration will respond to the following questions, Honorable Speaker. One, question by private notice number 8 of 2025 by the member for Molo, the Honorable CPA Kuria Kimani, CBS MP, regarding the state of security in the country. Two, question by private notice number 009-2025 by the member for Embakasi West, the Honorable Mark Mwenje, MP, regarding circumstances that led to the death of Mr. Brian Luka Maina. Question by private notice number 010-2025 by the member for Githunguri, the Honorable Gadhoni wa Mushomba, HSMP, regarding report on the number of female bodies recovered from Kware dump site in Embakasi. 4, question by private notice number 12 of 2025 by the member for Gilgil, the Honorable Martha Wangare, CBS MP, regarding child sex trafficking in Maimahiu, Nakuru County. Number 5, question number 063-2025 by the member for Arieda, the Honorable Dr. Otiende Amolo, SC, EBS MP, regarding prevention of peaceful demonstration for exercising their rights to peaceful assembly. Question number 64 of 2025 by the member for Nairobi, the Honorable Esther Passaris, OGW, MP, regarding the non-implementation of body-worn cameras for public officers, for police officers. Question number 65, 2025, by the member for Suba North, the Honorable Millie Odhiambo Mabona, CBS MP, regarding the number of people who have died in police custody in the last 5 months. Question number 66 of 2025, by the member for Seme, the Honorable Dr. James Nyikal, CBS MP, regarding psychological and mental health assessment undertaken by the National Police Service Commission during recruitment of police officers. So your question, Dr. Nyikal, is coming on Wednesday. Be here so that you can hear the minister on this. Question number 67 of 2025, by the member for Kathiani, the Honorable Robert Mbui, MP, regarding the status of drug and substance abuse in the Coast region. And question number 68 of 2025, by the member for Mombasa County, the Honorable Zamzam Mohammed, MP, regarding the circumstances under which Mr. Hassan Wasionga was denied national identification card. Finally, Honorable Speaker, the House Business Committee will convene on Tuesday, 12 August 2025 to schedule business for the rest of that week. I now wish to lay this statement on the table of the House today, Honorable Speaker, and I thank you very, very much, Honorable Speaker.
Millie Odhiambo, what's your point of order? Thank you, Madam Speaker. Just out of courtesy, I wish to notify the House that on that day, we will be in Homa Bay for the devolution conference. I will be designating a member to take the question on my behalf because we have really waited for that because one of my constituents died in police custody in Kipasi police cell. And so in terms of the way it's framed, it's general, but my question was very specific, especially in relation to my constituent who had died in police custody. Thank you.
Okay. Next statement. Okay, Honorable Millie, you'll get a response shortly, but we can move on to the next one. Yeah? Okay, I was just confirming if it was Honorable Mwenje or Honorable Pontos. Honorable Pontos had requested for a statement from the Administration and Security. Honorable Tongoyo. Yes, there was a statement requested by Honorable Prontos of Loima constituency from the Administration and Internal Security.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I rise to request for a statement regarding the delay in appointments of chiefs and assistant chiefs. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 44.2c, I wish to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the delay in appointment of chiefs and assistant chiefs in Loima constituency. Honorable Speaker, over the past 3 years, several interviews have been conducted for the appointment of chiefs and assistant chiefs in Loima constituency. The respective interviewing panels submitted reports outlining the qualified and successful candidates to the Ministry of Interior and National Administration for appointment. However, to date, the chiefs and assistant chiefs are yet to be appointed, particularly in Kalemnyang, Lorengipi, and Naipa sublocations which are at the border of Kenya and Uganda. This delay has significantly hampered the delivery of essential government services at the grassroots level. Chiefs and assistant chiefs are not only critical to the coordination of public administration at the local level, but also play a key role in maintaining law and order, implementing government programs, and resolving local disputes. Additionally, they play a significant role in the civil registration process, including registration of birth and death, which are essential in planning and equitable resource allocation. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, the reasons for the prolonged delay in the appointment of chiefs and assistant chiefs in Loima constituency despite the completion of the interviews. 2, measures the Ministry of Interior and National Administration is undertaking to ensure that constituents continue to access key government services that are administered by chiefs and assistant chiefs. 3, specific timelines within which the ministry intends to appoint chiefs and assistant chiefs in the constituency. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Chairperson, Administration and Internal Security, or a member? Yes, Honorable Tongoyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We're able to give the response to the statement in 2 weeks' time. Nevertheless, Honorable Speaker, I want to, at the same time, to bring to your attention that the member is a high-ranking member in my committee, and he knows it very well. We had several meetings with the CS and the ministry regarding the same. But nevertheless, Honorable Madam Speaker, I will bring a response in 2 weeks' time.
Thank you. You'll have a response in 2 weeks' time. Let's move to the next statement by Honorable Mark Mwenje, member for Embakasi West, to the Education Committee. Honorable Mark Mwenje is not here. So let's move to the next request for statement by Honorable Beatrice Elachi, member for Dragoti North. Honorable Elachi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I stand pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c. I wish to request for a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Health regarding the contributions policy framework currently being implemented by the Social Health Authority, SHA, particularly with respect to the requirement for upfront annual contributions from participants in the informal sector. Honorable Speaker, the Social Health Authority established under the Social Health Insurance Act 2023 is mandated to administer and restructured National Health Insurance Scheme through the Primary Healthcare Fund, the Social Health Insurance Fund, and the Emergency Chronic and Critical Illness Fund. These reforms are envisioned to enhance equity, sustainability, and universal access to healthcare in line with Article 43 of the Constitution. However, considerable public concern has risen regarding the directive requiring informal sector contributors to remit annual premiums in a lump sum as a condition for enrollment or continued access to healthcare services. This approach has been widely criticized as financially exclusionary, particularly for low-income and seasonally employed Kenyans who are unable to make such bulk payments. Honorable Speaker, the shift from the previous monthly contribution model under the NHIF to the annualized infixable payment structure threatens to erode public confidence in the SHA and risks disfranchising millions of Kenyans who fall outside the formal employment bracket. It is imperative that this House receives clarity on the policy rationale, legal foundation, and sustainability for this contribution framework. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the Chairperson of Departmental Committee on Health on the following: the policy, justification, and legal basis for requiring annual lump sum contributions from informal sector contributors under SHA, whether there are plans to review or revise the current contribution structure to allow for monthly, quarterly, or otherwise flexible installments options in order to accommodate varying income realities among Kenyans, whether the Ministry of Health or SHA has conducted an impact assessment or affordability analysis to evaluate the implications of this policy on enrollment, compliance, and access to essential health services, mitigation measures that have been considered or are in place to cushion economically vulnerable populations during the transition from NHIF to SHA, and confirmation of whether the current contribution policy has been anchored in published regulations, and if so, whether the same may be amended through administrative or legislative intervention to ensure equity and accessibility. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Chairperson, Education Committee, Health Committee. Health, Honorable Nicole.
Thank you, thank you, Madam Speaker. That's a very important question, and we'll make an effort to get an answer, if possible, within 2 weeks. But it's fairly comprehensive, but we'll make maximum effort because it's a thing that is important to the whole country. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Okay, you've said 2 weeks. So there is also a request for a statement by Honorable Clive Gisario, member for Kitutu Masaba. Yes, Honorable Gisairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. A request for a statement regarding detainment of a minor in India due to delayed payment for medical bills by the Social Health Authority. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health regarding detainment of a 10-month-old baby Chloe Agnes Nyanchoka Nyang'au in India due to delayed payment of medical bill by the Social Health Authority. Honorable Speaker, baby Chloe, a declared dependent of Mr. Boniface Nyang'au Momanyi, member number CR 694-366-499-5724-9 under the Social Health Insurance Fund was referred to Miot International Hospital in Chennai, India, for open heart surgery by a consultant pediatric cardiologist at Kenyatta National Hospital. The referral was authorized by the Office of the Director General for Health via a letter dated 8th April 2025 for the period of cover ending June 30th, 2025. Honorable Speaker, on 15th May 2025, Ms. Gladys Nyabonyi Asuku of National ID number 22816057 and passport number BK968376, the mother of the minor, duly signed the Social Health Insurance Fund SHIF beneficiary commitment form for overseas treatment. The total cost of treatment was stated at shillings 1,625,000, with a clear acknowledgement that the SHA Gazette tariff for overseas treatment would cover Kenya shillings 500,000. Subsequently, baby Chloe, accompanied by her mother, traveled to Chennai, India on 16th July 2025, where baby Chloe underwent open heart surgery on 21st July 2025.
One moment, member for Kitutu Masaba. Sergeant at Arms, could I have the list of guests who are here? Because I can see the guests are arriving and leaving before I receive the list. You may proceed.
Although she was scheduled to return to Nairobi on 5th August 2025, Miot International Hospital has withheld her release due to delayed payment of the outstanding Kenya shillings 500,000 by the Social Health Authority, subjecting the family to emotional distress and unforeseen financial hardship. Honorable Speaker, it is against this backdrop that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Health on the following. 1. Reasons behind the delay by SHA in remitting the outstanding Kenya shillings 500,000 despite prior authorization and the signed beneficiary commitment and the expected timeline for the payment. 2. Internal mechanisms in place within SHA to guarantee timely disbursement of approved medical funds for overseas treatments, including measures employed to prevent detention of minors such as baby Chloe in foreign hospitals due to administrative lapses. And 3, legal recourse available for Kenyan patients detained abroad under similar circumstances and steps the Ministry of Health is undertaking to prevent such cases from recurring in the future. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for who's the Health? Honorable Nyikal, Chairperson Health.
Madam Speaker, this obviously is a very critical matter. The child being held all effort will be made so that we have an answer, a report by next week, if possible, at least regarding the release of the child, even if other policy matters are still to be looked at. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Next, we have a request for a statement by Honorable Timothy Wanyonyi, member for Westlands constituency.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I request for a statement.
Honorable Faith Gitau, stop distracting the member for Westlands.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker,
for protecting you.
I request for a statement regarding the right to persons to reasonable accommodation in the workplace for persons with disabilities. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 442C, I rise to request for a statement from a chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor regarding the rights of reasonable accommodation in the workplace for persons living with disabilities. Honorable Speaker, the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities and Section 21(2)(d) of the Persons with Disabilities Act number 4 of 2025 requires every employer to carry out appropriate modifications in their workplace premises to accommodate the employment of persons with disabilities. Despite the right to reasonable accommodation, Ms. Phyllis Anyango Ouko, who serves as a Director Administration in the Ministry of Interior and National Administration and is a wheelchair user, was recently relocated from the first floor to the 8th floor of the Harambee House. The decision for the relocation was reportedly made without consideration for her accessibility needs, jeopardizing her well-being. Consequently, Ms. Anyango has reportedly been sleeping in her current office space for 3 consecutive nights to prevent its demolition and secure her accessibility rights. Honorable Speaker, it is deeply concerning that a public officer living with disability is being subjected to such challenges in a clear violation of her right to reasonable accommodation. The Kenya Disability Parliamentary Association, KEDIPA, calls for urgent intervention by the relevant ministry and other state agencies. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Labor on the following grounds. Number 1, actions taken by the Ministry of Labor and Social Protection to investigate the matter and ensure that the matter is resolved while ensuring the protection of the right to reasonable accommodation for Ms. Phyllis Anyango Oko. Number 2, measures put in place to ensure accessibility of the place of work for Ms. Phyllis Oko and other persons with disabilities in public service, and steps taken to address discrimination of persons with disabilities in the workplace, including promoting their inclusivity in decision-making processes in the workplace. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Chairperson for Labour Committee, or a member from that committee. Is there a member from Labour? Yes, Honorable Donya.
Yeah. In the next 2 weeks, Madam Speaker.
Okay. Someone just murmured that 2 weeks is too long. Point of order, Honorable Pukose.
Honorable Speaker, you know I'm standing in for the majority leader, and therefore 2 weeks I think is a very long period of time, considering what the honorable member has raised, that she's been sleeping in the office for the last 3 nights. And I think we cannot keep her sleeping in that office for the next 2 weeks. I'll direct that the committee gives a response within a week's time so that that matter is resolved urgently.
Honorable Donya, do you think your committee can do it in 1 week? Especially considering we are going on recess.
Oh, well guided, Madam Speaker. I'll give the communication.
Thank you.
Okay.
And before we proceed to the next request for statement, which will be made by the Honorable Walter Owino, member for Awendo, allow me to recognize the presence of Mother Kelvin School from Kandui constituency, Bungoma County, who are seated in the Speaker's Gallery. And also seated in the Speaker's Gallery are staff members from Bomachoge Barabu, staff members from the constituency of Bomachoge Barabu, and from Kisii County. And I think on behalf of members of Parliament and the substantive Speaker, I'm going to give the Member of Parliament to welcome them on our behalf. Proceed.
Mike. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'd like to say I'm twice lucky because you've allowed me to be able to also welcome my staff, Bomachoge Borabu constituency staff. Yesterday, I was given another opportunity to welcome Kenyenya Junior Academy to the Parliament chambers. Madam Speaker, I would like to welcome the staff of Bomachoge Borabu to these chambers. I would like to remind them that they are in their positions because of the goodwill that the people gave to us, and I would like to encourage them to continue to support me so that we can be able to give our people the best services possible. I also wish to say that they should continue to enjoy Parliament premises as much as they can, because there's a common saying that you cannot create experience, you have to undergo it. So because of their arrival in the chambers today, they are able to see practically what it means to legislate, oversight, and represent the people of Bomachoge Borabu. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, and on behalf of myself and the Honorable Speaker, I welcome you to the House of Parliament. And also seated in the public gallery, I wish to recognize the following schools: Father Walistra Academy from Kandui constituency, Bungoma County. We also have Rihanna Primary School from Kasarani constituency, Nairobi County. We also have Mutamayu Primary School from Kinangop constituency, Nyandarua County. Also St. Clair Primary School from Chesumei constituency, Nandi County. And also Marigat Academy from Baringo South constituency, Baringo County. And also Mfaraji Primary School, Igembe North constituency, Meru County. And Alomoreni Primary School, Narok West constituency, Narok County. And on behalf of the substantive speaker, myself and the members of the National Assembly, I will ask Honorable Taitum to welcome all our guests on our behalf.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for this opportunity. They allow me to welcome all the schools present in the chambers, both the public and the speakers gallery. This is the institution that oversights, legislates, and represents the Kenyans' interest. I would like to ask the students who have come here, this noble opportunity should serve as an inspiration towards and working for the betterment of yourselves, so that in the future, some of you will get an opportunity to represent Kenyans in this very, very noble institution called the Parliament. Welcome. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member for Itaitumi. I now call upon a statement to be made by, a request for a statement by Honorable Walter Owino, member for Awendo, addressed to the Ministry, the Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. This is a request for a statement regarding non-payment of retirees' deposit by non-compliant SACCO societies. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44.2c, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry and Cooperatives regarding the non-payment of deposit shares to retirees by various savings and credit cooperative organizations, SACCOs. Honorable Speaker, there is a growing concern over the number of retirees, many documented by the Retirees Welfare Association of Kenya, who are unable to access their funds due to non-compliance by several SACCOs. Despite numerous letters and appeals to the Office of the Cabinet Secretary for Cooperatives and the Chief Executive Officer of SACCO Societies Regulatory Authority, SASRA, no meaningful progress has been made. This has occasioned great suffering and financial disgrace among retired members, many of whom are not pensionable and rely solely on their SACCO savings for post-retirement livelihood. Honorable Speaker, the association has cited cases from SACCOs across the country, including the AFNA SACCO, Transcom SACCO, Migori Teachers SACCO, Bungoma Teachers SACCO, Nairobi Jitegeme, and Kenya Union of Sugarcane Plantation Workers, among others. These SACCOs collectively owe deposit to thousands of members, some with as many as 1,034 retirees yet to be paid. Regrettably, there is no ring-fenced legal framework setting timelines for refunding retirees, nor are there binding disciplinary consequences for non-compliant SACCOs. Furthermore, online fraud, internal collusion have been reported, further endangering retirees' funds. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Trade, Industry, and Cooperatives on the following. 1. List of SACCOs that are yet to refund retirees' deposits and indicate the actions taken against them. 2. Plans by the Ministry to develop a regulatory framework that safeguards deposits and sets clear timelines for refunding retirees their deposits through SASRA. 3. Measures being taken to hold SACCOs officials who intentionally delay or deny payments to retired members accountable. And 5. Steps in place to ensure ring-fence refund timelines for retirees and disciplinary actions tied to delayed refunds, especially retirees' proposals for 10% penalty levies on delays, and legal recognition of deposit shares under the Retirement Benefit Authority, RBA, Madam Speaker. And kindly, Madam Speaker, allow me to say something on this outside the request for statement. I wish to emphasize that the retirees affected by this matter have knocked on every door available to them, including your office and that of the clerk. It is for this reason that I felt compelled to take up this issue, not only as a representative, but also as a moral obligation to those who served this country diligently, and more so, as a voice for those who have been systematically ignored. These are citizens who have no salaries, no pensions, only their SACCO savings to depend on. I therefore urge that this matter be taken up with utmost urgency and seriousness, and that the CS provides an elaborate response to the statement, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Who's representing the member for the chairperson for Trade, Industry, and Cooperatives? Yes, proceed, Honorable Owundo.
Speaker, in the absence of the chair and the vice chair, I will undertake to transmit the request for statement, and we request him, being a weight matter, it has been with us for many years, it allows us 2 weeks after the resumption of the sitting of the House, sometimes towards the end of early September, so that we can get adequate responses to the request. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Is that sufficient, Honorable Owendo? Member for Owendo, Honorable Owino?
That is okay, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, now let us proceed for a request for a statement by the Honorable Member for Nairobi County, Honorable Passaris.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 43, I wish to make a statement regarding the 27th anniversary of the 1998 U.S. bombing in Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, I rise today with a heavy heart, yet with hope to mark the 27th anniversary of the 7th August 1998 bombing of the U.S. Embassy here in Nairobi. That devastating attack claimed the lives of 218 innocent individuals, injured over 5,000, and left thousands of families shattered. While the world moved on, the survivors are still living with the consequences, many in silence, many in suffering. During this year's commemoration at the 7th August Memorial Park, I listened to survivors like Douglas, who lost his sight in the blast, Beatrice, who lost her husband, Masharia, who lost both parents. Their stories are not just heartbreaking, they are a call for conscience. Honorable Speaker, many survivors are still waiting for justice, recognition, and compensation. While the U.S. government took responsibility for its citizens, Kenyan victims were left behind, neglected in both care and recognition. Their ongoing case has not delivered closure or relief. They are now seeking an audience with His Excellency the President and with the relevant arms of government to present their plight directly on issues such as education, healthcare, assisted devices, and long-term economic support. Honorable Speaker, I appeal to you and the leadership of this House to help facilitate this audience. These survivors are not just seeking charity, they are seeking dignity, justice, and a place in national memory. Through NGAF, I supported the association with a financial contribution. I also pledged Kenya shillings 250 through the Wezesha Mama Inua Jamii initiative. We will be providing also as NGAF 50 bursary forms and have secured a donation of white cans from Math Charitable Trust, an affiliation of Embracing the World, for those who lost their sight, to restore some measure of independence and dignity. However, the government's support must go beyond token gestures. It must be structured, sustained, and dignified. As we remember the lives of those lost on that tragic day, let us also renew our responsibility to the living survivors. They should not suffer in silence, not 27 years later. Honorable Speaker, I urge this House to help deliver them the audience they seek and the justice they deserve. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Well, this is a personal statement, so there will be no comments on it. Honorable members, allow me to recognize in the public gallery DEB Kabachi School from Mbeere North, Embu County, and St. Mario School from Kisumu East, Kisumu County. Join me in welcoming them to the institution of Parliament as they observe the proceedings of the House. The next chance will go to the member for Migori, Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provision of the Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security regarding the murder of Mr. Michael Odamboa Omamba of ID 32269118. Honorable Speaker, on the morning of 23rd July 2025, Mr. Michael Odamboa Omamba, a resident of Uriri Sub-County in Migori County, was found dead under unclear circumstances, barely 50 meters from his residence in Migori Town. A preliminary view of his body showed that he had suffered a fatal stab wound to the chest. It is reported that some items which were recovered at the scene, including a wallet, a mobile phone believed to be his personal belongings, were untouched, pointing at a likelihood that his killing was premeditated and not as a consequence of an act of violent robbery. Honorable Speaker, it is claimed that on the night prior to his killing, Mr. Michael Odamboa was seen at a local social joint in the company of several people, including a mutual acquaintance. The incident was reported at Migori Police Station under OB number 1007-2025, but investigations are yet to yield a tangible outcome. The killing of Mr. Michael Odamboa Omamba has not only devastated his family, but also caused anxiety among the residents of Migori County, who are concerned about the state of public safety and the effectiveness of the security apparatus in protecting lives of citizens. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairpersons of Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, a report on the circumstances surrounding the death of Mr. Michael Odamboa Omamba, whose body was found dumped along the road in Migori Town on 23rd July 2025. 2, the steps being taken by the Directorate of Criminal Investigation to ensure a swift and thorough investigation of the murder of Mr. Michael Odamboa Omamba. 3, the progress made in ensuring that the culprits of the murder of Mr. Michael Odamboa Omamba are apprehended and held accountable so as to serve justice to the family of the deceased. 4, a report on the identity and whereabouts of the individuals, including a mutual acquaintance who was claimed to have been last seen with the deceased on the fatal night before his murder, and whether they are linked to the murder. And 5, the plans by the ministry to strengthen security measures in Migori town and other vulnerable regions of Migori County in order to guarantee safety of the citizen. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Tong, committee, how long?
Madam Speaker, considering that the House could be going on recess next week, allow me to, I know it's a bit urgent, but allow me maybe first week on resumption from recess, but if I can get the response early, I can send to the member.
Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We will wait for the response.
Then it is so directed. We will then go. What is out of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As the rest wait for the responses to the statements, I also have pending responses from the Chair
Honorable Donya, we will prosecute the responses as they are first. If you have pending, hold your horses. I'll give you after. Let us go to the chair defense. Honorable Bashir.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, before I do the response, I just wanted to bring to the attention of this House a very disturbing and crucial matter that has come to our attention. Honorable Speaker, we have come to learn of certain statements of press made by the former Deputy President concerning matters, especially in Mandera, where he has imputed improper motives on the great people of Mandera during the visit of His Excellency the President to that county, where he said that the President, during his visit at night, met with members of Al-Shabaab together with the leadership of that county.
Honorable Bashir, what statement are you responding to? You're making another statement.
No, I'm trying to bring to attention a very weighty matter, which also touches on defense. Honorable Speaker, the statement by the DP that the...
You can't ambush me. I was confirming, Honorable Bashir, you know I'm in your committee, and this is a house of record, so I'm confirming because I called you to respond to a statement first. Respond to the statement first. Yeah.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Well guided. Honorable Speaker, the member for Turkana North Constituency, Honorable Ekon Nabin, MP, pursuant to provision of Standing Order 442C, requested a statement from the Cabinet Secretary for Defense regarding the security situation in Todonyang, particularly the massacre of civilians allegedly by the Dasanach militia from Ethiopia on 22nd February 2025. The member specifically sought to be informed on the following. A report on the status of investigations into the Todonyang massacre that occurred on 22nd February 2025, including the steps taken to collaborate with the Ethiopian authorities. B, the measures being put in place to address security breaches at the Kenya border along Lake Turkana and confirmation on whether the security forces have been deployed to ensure protection of these Kenyans at the border. C, the steps taken by the Ministry of Defense through the Kenya Defense Forces to protect fishermen along Lake Turkana during their fishing expeditions. and D, the measures put in place to ensure that the families of the victims are compensated and an indication of when they will receive their compensation. The committee engaged the Minister of Defense on the matters raised by the Honorable Nabuin. I therefore wish to respond as follows. Honorable Speaker, on the status of investigation to the Todanyang massacre, the Ministry of Defense has clarified that the Kenya Defense Forces was not directly involved in the investigation process. The Kenya Defense Forces, however, remained on standby to provide security assistance if required. Investigation into such incidents fall under the jurisdiction of the National Police Service under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. There is, however, acknowledgement of the transboundary nature of the incident. Nevertheless, the Ministry has not reported any joint investigations or formal collaboration with the Ethiopian authorities so far. Regarding the security breaches along the Kenya-Ethiopia border near Lake Turkana, the Ministry reports that the Kenya Defense Force personnel have been deployed to various areas in Turkana County, including Lokichogio, Nadapal, Kainuk, Napaitom, and Kokenye. These deployments are conducted within a multi-agency framework in support of the National Police Service under Gazette Notice number 1900 of 13 February 2023. Patrols and surveillance operations are ongoing to stabilize the region and deter cross-border attacks. Further, the Ministry has indicated that plans are underway to establish a permanent detachment in Liwan area on military land allocated by the Turkana County government, which will bolster long-term security infrastructure. Concerning the protection of fishermen in Lake Turkana, the Ministry of Defense stated that while the Kenya Defense Force deployment has been enhanced in Turkana, the specific mandate of securing fishermen and inland waterways rests with the security agencies under the Ministry of Interior and National Administration. However, the Ministry affirms its continued commitment to supporting civil authorities within the existing operational frameworks when required. On the matter of compensation to the families of victims, the Ministry of Defense has not received any formal claim or request for compensation as of the date of the response. Consequently, no compensation arrangements have been made or timelines established. This indicates a potential gap in communication between the affected families and the relevant state institutions responsible for restitution and redress. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry further emphasizes that the deployment of the Kenya Defense Forces to Turkana was undertaken pursuant to Article 2413B of the Constitution to assist in restoring peace and order in areas afflicted by banditry and intercommunal conflicts. While significant gains have been made in reducing insecurity through the civil-military cooperation, CIMIC, and the community engagement initiatives, the Ministry acknowledges the continued challenges posed by cross-border incursions. I submit. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Is a member in the House? Yes. Honorable Quorum.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the response is not satisfactory because, Madam Speaker, from my understanding of the existence of KDF, under Article 3413A, the responsibility of KDF is defense and protection of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic. Madam Speaker, it seems the CS doesn't understand the location of Todonyang. Todonyang is located at the border of Kenya and Ethiopia, and the attackers were Ethiopian militia, and therefore it was an external aggression, an external incursion. And I thought this calls for the intervention and the response by KDF. Madam Speaker, the CS discusses deployment of KDF internally. She has mentioned areas that are within the country. We are talking about an external aggression. So, Madam Speaker, I want to request that you direct that the CS appears before that committee together with myself so that she will be able to give more information, because the Turkana people are looking forward to a response that has not been forthcoming in the last 6 months. People in Todonyo.
You've put your point. You've put your point.
Okay, thank you.
Let's hear the chair first.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, we have noted the concerns of the Honorable Member, and I think most appropriately we will be able to get back to the Ministry on those concerns. We are aware that the issues of internal deployment and external deployments, so certainly his concerns are also valid, but we will get back to the Ministry to further elaborate on this matter so that the member can adequately be satisfied on the same. So we'll get back to the Ministry.
How soon?
I think because we are going on recess probably, and probably within 2 weeks, even if it is giving him directly the response, that could be appropriate. So within 2 weeks, we will be able to get response from the Ministry.
Honorable Quorum, is that agreeable? Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Now I'll indulge you on the other matter, which is not on my desk.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I just wanted to bring to the attention of this House and the Kenyans at large that the former Deputy President made a press statement while in the US imputing improper motives on the great people of Mandera and the Kenyan Somali community at large, where he claimed that during the President's visit to Mandera, the President personally met with the members of Al-Shabaab together with the members of the leadership of that country. Honorable Speaker, these are very outrageous and reckless statements, especially coming from someone who was once a Deputy President. It's unfortunate that these kind of statements further indicate that the kind of gap that exists between people who serve in high offices and those who are currently serving. Honorable Speaker, he also indicated that the abolition of vetting process to especially the Somali community and people living within the borders is ill-advised and that IDs will be given to terrorists. Honorable Speaker, that means that the Kenyan Somali community, according to the former Deputy President, are all terrorists, that they don't warrant to be given ID cards. It's unfortunate that this is not the first time the former Deputy President has profiled the Kenyan Somali community. Not once, not twice, not thrice. And it's unfortunate that it's coming from him. And two, he also goes ahead and says that while in the US, he's going to give information and names to the US government on matters that has transpired between the President and what he alleges to be meeting with Al-Shabaab and other elements. Honorable Speaker, first and foremost, Kenya is not a colony of any country, including America. America and Kenya are mutual countries with mutual respect. We gain from America, they gain from us.
Honorable Bashir, keep it short.
Okay, Honorable Speaker. So, Honorable Speaker, my point is that, you know, in our Somali culture, when somebody goes berserk or is mentally disturbed, they are chained in their family tree. And I want to ask the family that please chain one Rigathi Gachagua, because what he is saying and what he is speaking is tantamount to somebody who is mad and mentally disturbed.
Honorable Njeri, what is out of order?
And at this point,
Honorable Speaker, we know that if someone is mentally incapacitated, it is a case of a doctor giving a medical report in regard to that. Is Honorable Bashir a doctor? Has he evaluated His Excellency, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua? Can he substantiate those claims? This is a serious house. We do not want drama here. We have serious national matters to be discussing.
Honorable Speaker, you know, the way he behaves, the way he utters, just shows that he's mentally disturbed and deranged. Because those words he spoke in America cannot be spoken by somebody who is mentally okay.
Honorable Bashir, I want to put this to a close. Personally, I have not listened to those sentiments, so I have no comment on the same. But I would want us to be parliamentary and wind up this debate for 30 seconds. Wind up.
Honorable Speaker, I agree with you. My point is that Rigathi Gachagua was once a deputy president, and the words and statements that he makes should befit the office that he once held. And he's somebody that is actually of importance to us, because while he's speaking out there, talking ill of this country. And in fact, I will also say, because he is a security threat to this country, let him stay in America and don't set foot in this country again. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Bashir, what is out of order? Honorable Bashir, you know there are many avenues of bringing matters to this house. You are actually free to be on record if you want to bring a motion, but I want to put that matter to rest at that point. Honorable Clive, what is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, it is wrong for the honorable member to say that the former deputy president should not step into this country. He needs to withdraw that statement because he doesn't have such powers, and it's inciting in nature. There is no difference from the same person he's trying to accuse if he takes that path. He needs to withdraw.
Honorable Undo.
Speaker, I'm always get baffled when we keep on wasting valuable parliamentary time talking about somebody who does not sit here in parliament, and somebody we were told that within 2 weeks after impeachment, he will be an entity, he will be inconsequential, he will not even be able to move. I wonder what's the obsession? What is the panic? What is the bile? Just ignore him and move on. If you think you've vanquished him politically, I can't understand it. We have more pressing issues in this country, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, you have made your point, Honorable Undo. I would want us to make progress. I have guided Honorable Bashir. In case you want this matter to be discussed as a motion, you know there are avenues that you can do that as a motion. But I also agree with Honorable Clive that you cannot issue threats of stepping on this soil for any citizen. So, Honorable Bashir, you had done very well, but the last statement you will withdraw.
Honorable Speaker, I think there are so many other personalities that have been asked not to step to this country, and they're out there. In fact, those ones are even done illegally. This man is a threat to national security, the way he's speaking. Talking about a president meeting with Al-Shabaab.
Do not debate, Honorable Bashir.
Yes.
Do not debate.
So I don't think
I did not ask for substantiation. I said withdraw the last statement. All the other things you can say.
He has talked ill about the Somali community more than once, and I think that man... No. We even prosecute him on civil courts. I'm not withdrawing. Yeah.
Honorable Bashir, Standing Order number 107A, a member commits an act of gross disorderly conduct if the member A defies a ruling or direction from the Speaker or chairperson of committee. I'm not done. So I have requested you to withdraw that statement, and you have defied that ruling. I will ask you to withdraw from the chamber. Order, members, let us make progress. The Chair of Energy Committee. Chair of Energy Committee. That matter is dispensed off with. Chair of Energy Committee. Are you the one who is the chair?
No, I'm a member, but delivering the response on behalf of the chair.
You have the statement?
Yes.
Okay. Kindly make your statement as requested by Honorable Naisula, who is in the House.
Thank you, Honorable Chair, the Speaker. Honorable Speaker, allow me to deliver the response by Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Energy and Petroleum, on the questions raised by the Honorable Member for Samburu West regarding persistent power outage in Samburu West constituency. On question 1, the immediate and underlying causes of persistent power outages currently being experienced in Maralal Town and other parts of Samburu West constituency. Honorable Speaker, Samburu West constituency, including Maralal Town, is served by the 33 kV line originating from Lanet, Nakuru through Nyahururu Town. Maralal Town is at the terminal end of this line, spanning over 200 kilometers from Lanet 132 over 33 kV substation. Along the way, it serves part of Nakuru, Nyandarua, Baringo, and Laikipia counties. By being at the terminal end and with no alternative supply, any fault occurring on the line or routine maintenance on any section of the line affects Maralal Town. Essentially, this 33 kV distribution line is among the longest ones in the country and is performing a transmission function. The line is maintained by respective county teams, with each county handling well-defined areas. Samburu team maintains this line from the boundary with Laikipia County up to Maralal 33 over 11 kV substation. During the April rains, a pole fell near Rimuruti town and in an area where the section of the line was inaccessible due to mud. As a result, there was prolonged power outage in the area. However, the issue has been resolved and continued supply of power to the larger Samburu County restored. On this question number 2, reason for lack of formal communication or advance notification to residents and business of interruption of power supply as required by law under the Energy Act. Honorable Speaker, KPLC has maintained an open communication structure with all its customers in every part of the country. In Samburu County, in case of a breakdown on the main line or a planned maintenance program, KPLC county leadership relays the information to the local radio station, that is Serian FM, for broadcasting to the local community. This is over and above the normal newspaper notices for planned maintenance programs. On the third question, measures that the ministry has put in place to urgently resolve this outage and ensure consistent and reliable power supply to Samburu West constituency moving forward. Honorable Speaker, to improve on supply reliability to Samburu West constituency, the following urgent measures have been put in place by the ministry. Thorough inspection of the entire 33 kV line from Lanet to Maralal Town and the 11 kV line and transformers emanating from Maralal 3311 kV substation. 2, vegetation management of all the lines to keep trees off the power lines. 3, replacement of rotten wooden poles with concrete poles to prevent breakdowns. 4, repair of automatic voltage regulations along the 33 kV line to improve the outage at the Samburu. 4th question, alternative or strategic partnerships being explored by the ministry to provide Maralal and entire Samburu West constituency with supplementary or backup power sources to mitigate the effect of power outages in the future. Honorable Speaker, to ensure power reliability and stability in the larger Samburu area, the following initiatives are being put in place in the medium term. 1, Ketrako's new Nanyuki Rimuruti 132 kV transmission line and a 132 over 33 kV Rimuruti substation are at advanced stage with a scheduled completion date of December 2025. KPLC is also constructing a dedicated line from Rimuruti, a 132 over 33 kV substation to Maralal Town, a 33 over 11 kV substation, and stop relying on Lanet 132 over 133 kV substation, that is in Nakuru County, as the primary source. This will leave Nyahururu link as an alternative and hence greatly improve supply of reliable and capacity enhancement of power supply to Samburu County. 2, KPLC is also exploring for another alternative supply to Maralat from Isiolo through Wamba town. There is a distribution line gap of around 23 kilometers that, if done, would link with the existing 33 kV line at Kisima Center. Route survey for the line has been completed and the designs are ongoing. KPLC is continuously undertaking transmission distribution network refurbishment and vegetation management to improve grid reliance in all parts of the country. On the final question, plans, if any, by the ministry to compensate affected residents and business for the losses occasioned by the perennial power outage. Honorable Speaker, the ministry remains committed to delivering quality, reliable, and cost-effective electricity to the people of Samburu West constituency and Kenyans at large. The ministry regrets the inconvenience caused by the outage, which has since been addressed significantly to the root cause. The current power challenges within the energy sector are largely attributed to low investment in generation and transmission in the last few years. Therefore, Kenya Power and Lighting Company does not have a compensation criteria for power outages in the country. That's the response, the Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Before I give the Honorable Naisula, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Nyali School from Nyali constituency, Mombasa County. Join me in welcoming them to Parliament. Honorable Naisula. Yes, I also take note. I am not able to see the public gallery, but if they are not in the house, they are on record.
It's also good to just recognize them. So, Chair, Madam Speaker, thank you very much for this opportunity. I want to first say that I do not agree 1 second, 1 bit with that statement read by the chairperson on behalf of the chairperson of Energy Committee. I will raise the substantive issues as to why, but also the issues of CSAs or PSAs, CSAs responding to us without getting facts from the ground through their committees will not be acceptable in this House, Madam Speaker. And why do I say this? The question that has been said that this matter has been resolved, I want to put it to the Chair of Energy that as we speak right now, there is no electricity in Samburu West. It has not been there last week, Tuesday, the entire day, entire night. It was not there on Sunday, just this past Sunday. And so, flowery languages here to tell us what is happening on where we come from. Us members who sit here represent those constituencies. We are the ones who know what is happening in our constituencies. And so writing beautiful statements here to say that the matter has been resolved, I will not accept it, Madam Speaker. I'm actually happy this statement was not answered before, so that it is answered on real time when we have no electricity in Samburu West constituency. The second issue, Madam Speaker, you have heard that this is a long line. But what happens to the north and the northeasterns and the periphery? We're always the last ones. The statement said it is from Lanet, Nakuru County, but Samburu is the last. And that is why we face the same problem. I want to ask, does Nakuru County not have electricity right now? Because it serves the same line. I want to know why, because I have done my survey. We share the same line, but the other counties, Nyandarua, Nakuru, will have electricity, but Samburu West constituency will not have electricity. So I also to put it to you this way on the third answer about the long-term plans. The Rumuruti substation has been built, it's been being built. It is there. I don't know why it's not been commissioned for the last 15 years. I want to again put it to you that there are parts of this country which are not taken seriously and they are not valued. Why should we even have a substation in Laikipia County, in Rumuruti? We need a substation in Samburu County. Because my colleague from Samburu East, the one you're talking about, the electricity from Wamba, the other option is to bring it from Samburu East. He told me Samburu East is again now facing the same challenge we are facing in Samburu West. I want to conclude, Madam Speaker, by saying we have children who are in incubators. We have business people who are running businesses in Maralal. We have students who study using electricity. So if someone thinks Samburus only use manyatas and small tin lamps, we want electricity just like every other Kenyan. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Sane.
Madam Speaker, Kenya Power and Lighting Company is a public company. I can't understand what exonerates them from negligence when there are outages. From the statement read by the committee, it's like KPLC is not responsible for anything they do occasioned by outages resulting from their negligence. Why should that happen? People of Samburu deserve the right for compensation if there is any negligence on the part of KPLC. Why should such a statement come from such a company?
Honorable Oundo.
Honorable Speaker, sometimes we say the rich also cry. Honorable Speaker, the reader, whoever has represented the chair happens to come with the same county like mine. And whenever, Honorable Speaker, it drizzles, not stop even raining. When it drizzles, almost the entire Busia County, power goes off. Almost the entire Busia County, power goes off. I hope as he has read a false statement, a misleading statement, he will also, when they come to rectify the statement, he will also raise the issue of Busia and never ask.
Honorable Oundo, you know you can raise the issue of Busia. Even
no, I'm sending him because he's a member of his ranking, he's a senior member of the committee.
Do not cast aspersions on your colleagues.
No, so I'm just saying, when the cabinet secretary is coming or the permanent secretary is coming, principal secretary is coming to answer, I hope I'll be aware so that we also pick up the issue of intermittent power failure in many of the outlying areas of this country. Most of Busia County and Funyula constituency as a whole, and I know it extends to Kenya as well. Thank you.
Honorable Owen.
I want to speak as a member of Kilifi North, Honorable Speaker. And I want to say this. You know, it is time that we allow competition in the energy sector. That this Kenya Power is the reason why we do not have power. Because of the monopoly that they have. And they behave the way they do and give us that kind of replies to this House just because they are a monopoly. But I think as Parliament, we have responsibility to make law, to publish sessional papers, and one sessional paper that we need to bring here is the split of that KPLC, so that we diversify the market. Anybody who has money to invest in the energy sector, and other countries actually have done well in the energy sector because they don't have monopoly in that sector, Honorable Speaker. So I think the energy team that is here, the Committee on Energy, including my friend who read that, and we want to exonerate you. You are doing your duty as a member of Parliament for your area, but also as a legislator in the National Assembly from that area, not for that area. Oundo, I think that was unfair on your friend. But I also want to say this. It was very, very unfair on your colleague. But I want to say this, Honorable Speaker. That Energy Committee needs to push a motion in this Parliament to give other players an opportunity to distribute power, to buy power from KenGen and distribute, and not just KPLC. Because the mess that we have, you tell KPLC, connect my house. They give you a bill, Honorable Speaker, of a transformer, of wires, of poles, totaling to almost 10 million. So that they make it impossible to put the grid to the poorest areas in this country. And because they do that, those areas continue to be poor. Honorable Speaker, as a House, I think, and I want to challenge the committee, please bring a sessional paper to this House so that we allow other players who have resources and money to distribute power and not just KPLC. I support you, Honorable Lesuda, and the fate that your people suffer, the same fate that my people suffer, whether I'm in government or not. But I take, I say, put electricity in this village.
Thank you.
Wait a minute.
The reason I've given many joyriders is also because you also speak for Gilgil, which has the same problem.
Yes.
So I
want to speak for Gilgil, Honorable Speaker. We must split. We must monopolize KPLC.
I think Honorable Owen has actually concluded it. Energy Committee, this statement is not up to standard. Can you commit to do better than you have done? Especially, specifically on Maralal, before you bring the global issue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I actually undertake to go back to my committee and discuss this matter further. But Honorable Speaker, allow me to add this. I have one member who is present. This issue of power and the way Honorable Undo has pointed out, I also come from Busia County. We are equally affected. And the issue that the Honorable Insula raised is the issue of the substation that the ministry is saying that they are constructing, and the Honorable Insula is saying the construction is endless. Honorable Speaker, perhaps I may urge this House, because if we can allocate more resources to this particular energy ministry so that we can have more substation, because this is an issue as a committee we had with the minister, and the only response they had was that they don't have resources to build enough substation in the country. On the issue of liberalization of Kenya Power, I support the sentiment by the Deputy Majority Leader. That one is a debate that we are having in the committee, and very soon we'll bring something to the floor of the House so that we can open up the energy sector. On the issue that was raised by Honorable Senei, I think, let me clarify, on the issue of compensation on the constant outages. It's not that we are talking about people affected maybe by the destruction of their property by the cost through the outage. We are saying that those power blackouts, if their business person was supposed to do business and there's no power within 24 hours or 12 hours, it becomes very difficult for Kenya Power, for sure, to compensate the entire the business community in the entire country. But all the sentiments raised will go back as a committee, look at them, and come back in a better response. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
What time? Specifically to...
Give us when we after recess.
Question. Yes?
Give us after recess, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Naisula.
Speaker, I was going to propose something different, and it will be to your discretion. Looking at the interest that members have on this matter from their areas, Madam Speaker, we should not leave it to the committee. We should engage the CS on this particular matter so that they can answer us, so that instead of blaming Honorable the Chair or Mulanya, we should actually have them come here and answer the questions, because you can see the interest is a lot from different parts of the country. But thank you for your direction.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think we will give the committee a chance to bring that next week, first of all. But I think the chair can still make interventions, even without coming to the floor, to sort out the immediate problem in Maralal. Honorable Mulanya, good? Thank you. Honorable members, before we go to, before we go out of, we get out of this order, I will indulge Honorable Mwenje. You are not here. You are not here when we had the request for statement, so you will take your take on your statement.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Apologies, I wasn't there on time. The statement was being finalized at the time I was called out. Honorable Speaker, this is a request for a statement regarding resource deployment strategy in new administrative units in Nairobi County. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request for a statement from the Chairperson of the Departmental Committee, Education, regarding resource deployment strategy in newly formed administrative units in Nairobi County. Honorable Speaker, in November 2024, the government established new administrative units within Nairobi County, including some in Embakasi West Sub-County. These demarcations fundamentally alter the administrative landscape for service delivery, including provision of critical education services. The effective and equitable provision of education encompassing teacher allocation, infrastructure development and distribution of learning materials is intrinsically linked to these administrative boundaries and the demographic realities within them. Failure to create an effective deployment strategy may lead to uneven distribution of educational resources, potential strain on existing facilities in some areas, and inadequate service provision in others, ultimately impacting the quality of education for our children in Nairobi. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the Departmental Committee on Education on the following. 1, a comprehensive report on the steps taken by the government to provide adequate resource deployment strategies, including allocation of teachers, school infrastructure development and distribution of learning materials to public schools within the newly established administrative units in Nairobi, especially in Embakasi West sub-county. And 2, specific measures and timelines that the government is putting in place to ensure educational resources are equitably and adequately distributed to serve the needs of the population within these new administrative units. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
That will go to the Committee on National Administration? No, Education, actually. Okay. Honorable Gisairo.
We should be able to respond immediately. We resume from recess on that first week.
It is well. That will be good time, Honorable Mwenje, unless you are disputing.
Speaker, in fact, I'd hope the member for Embakasi South, who is affected by this issue, should be supporting me standing next to you. Honorable Speaker, if we can get assurance from the department, from the Honorable Gisario, that they will not recruit new teachers or do anything new until we get a response. Otherwise, we are the people who stand to suffer because we have new sub-counties and we are still being treated as though we are just one sub-county. This Embakasi West, Embakasi East, Embakasi North, Central, we've all been grouped into one, and that means we are unfairly treated because nobody is recognizing that things have changed.
You are debating the statement. Honorable Mawathe, unless you are adding anything more useful to add to Honorable Mwenje.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, it's important that this committee of education really deals in devils into that, because there is need. There is no way you can have four sub-counties, 3 of which are the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th largest in population in the country, lumped together. And when the issues of recruitment of teachers comes about, then you find you are given as one sub-county to recruit 8 teachers. So it's important that,
Thank you.
that the Energy Committee handles that.
So immediately after we resume from recess, I know there are members who are waiting on Abudonya with pending statements.
Madam Speaker, not pending statement, but answers to my statements. I have 3 statements which have not received a response for like 2 months. One from the Chair, Agriculture, Treasury, and Ministry of...
Pending one, hold on. But there is a pending statement from Honorable Donya in the Trade Committee. If it's not there, Owen, Honorable Owen, the Committee of Trade has a pending statement for Honorable Donya for quite some time.
Okay. I'll advise the chair, Shinali, Marianne, oh, she's not here too. So I'll advise the chair, Honorable Speaker, so that we have the statement the first week after recess. But we also have next week.
You have a whole of next week,
Yes.
and Tuesday
Yes.
on
So
20th.
I want to request
Next week.
that the matter be put for next week, Tuesday.
Yes.
So that she can get a statement, so the people of Kisii can be very,
Very well.
happy.
Thank you. Honorable Sanei.
Madam Speaker, I made a request to the Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the disappearance of one Hussein Abdurrahman Mohammed on 8th July 2025, a former Assistant County Commissioner and currently the Huduma Center Manager for Wajir County. He is missing for 30 days, Madam Speaker. The committee promised to give a statement, a response, today, Thursday. and it did not appear on the order paper. Missing people and their families are entitled to safety and protection, Madam Speaker. Their families have a right to be responded to and to be informed on the fate of their missing loved ones, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, even in cases of forced disappearances where Kenya has ratified an international convention, just in case it is there is an obligation on the government. Madam Speaker, we are speaking for the sovereign, the owners of the country, the citizens. When a sovereign is missing for 30 days, more so a civil servant, we only enjoy delegated power, and the national executive enjoys that delegated powers on behalf of...
Thank you. Let us hear from the committee first, why it hasn't come. Committee on National Administration, member. If no member, Deputy Leader of Majority.
Well, Speaker, the Honorable Tongoyo, who is the chair, is a very diligent member. There must be a real good reason why he's not here, Honorable Speaker. So I want to plead with you, you allow us until Tuesday next week, so that the statement, I'll talk to Tongoyo myself to get this response done. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Sane.
With humility, I respect the Deputy Leader of Majority's response. But, Madam Speaker, these are matters touching the sanctity of life, of Kenyans, a civil servant, a former Assistant County Commissioner, a father. We can't postpone such issues and handle it casually like that. We have an obligation as a government. Kenyans can't just disappear. If we can't account for a civil servant, the manager of a Huduma center, you can imagine of a common pastoralist who is in the wilderness all over in northern Kenya.
Honorable Sane, any missing person is one too many. Regardless of your stature.
I agree.
Regardless of where you come from, we all have a right to life and a right to live wherever we would want to live. So, Honorable Owen Bayer, my suggestion would be the CS of Interior is coming next week. Can this be an addendum to his response? I direct that it should be an addendum so that we fast track it.
Much obliged, Honorable Speaker, that I will also direct that it be put in the...
You are directed, so
yes, I am so
kindly
directed,
execute.
And I will
kindly
execute.
Thank you.
My staff, please, wherever you are and you are hearing this direction, please make sure it is
you
part of the
cannot use this floor to direct your staff, Honorable Owen. Honorable members, Honorable Member Fortetu, are you on this one? I see you raising your hand. And I don't know why you're raising your hand.
Madam Speaker, I don't know which other way to get your attention.
It is here.
I've been trying
on intervention.
to do that. I've been trying to do that on the last two issues that have been raised. But now that I have your attention.
Member Fortetu, I don't have you on intervention. Point of order is an intervention. Thank you. Continue though.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also have two statements that have been pending in this House for a long time. One from the Departmental Committee for the one that deals with matters interior and the one that deals with matters labor. Again, it's been pending for a long time, Madam Speaker. I don't know what is the method for getting a response after the Speaker directs after 2 weeks and you come and you don't hear any response.
Interior
and labor. One was about Nyayo T-zone workers who were not paid for a very long time. The other one was resettlement of people who are evicted from Tosha Forest in Tetu. And they were supposed to be resettled together with the other IDPs, but there's a list of 500 people who were not resettled, and I've been following those matters. And Madam Speaker, these are very old matters in this House. Some of them have been raised by my predecessors, and they have never been resolved. So I don't know whether I'm going to face the same fate or, you can intervene. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I think, Honorable Owen, you have quite some task. Honorable Tongoyo has a lot of pending statement. And then the other one is labor. I don't see Chonga. So you still have some duty to take up.
Yeah, Honorable Speaker, I will discharge my duties by calling and talking to the Honorable Ken Chonga so that he brings a statement next week. And also, I'll also remind the Honorable Tongo. I think the issues of IDPs should not be an issue that we're discussing this time and age. The IDP phenomenon came in 2007 until today. Why should Kenyans be suffering? This is something that we need to put our foot down, not just as member for Tetu, but as Parliament. It should be hover on us that actually we finish this, settle all IDPs, and funds were put in budgets, consequent budgets, to settle IDPs in this country. I don't know what happened to those funds, but I think Honorable Tongo will give us a response. So, Honorable...
next week?
The people of Tetu, yes.
Next week?
Yes, the people of Tetu will have a response.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Honorable Njeri, finally.
Thank you for your indulgence, Honorable Speaker. I'll be very restrained because I do intend to seek a formal statement in regard to this. This is a matter that has come up and is unfolding as we speak. I'm informed that Clement Kioi, a 24-year-old who collapsed while playing football at Kutus with fellow young people, was rushed to Kutus dispensary but was denied treatment on the allegation that he had not registered for SHA. Unfortunately, the fellow youths tried to rush him to a private medical facility, but he succumbed on the way to the facility. Honorable Speaker, we were discussing Kara here yesterday, and as county governments are demanding for further allocations, we do know that healthcare is now devolved. They should not be failing the people of Kirinyaga County, as I pass my condolences to the family and urge the residents of Kutus and by large Kirinyaga County to be restrained and calm. We also must have a thorough investigation, and the person responsible for denying Clement access to urgent medical attention must be held culpable.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I have indulged you, but you know that statement is not filed. So if you want to follow the procedure, do the right thing. Honorable members, let us go to the next order.
Order number 12, motion, consideration of nominees to 5 National Government Constitutional Development Fund committees.
Before we get to move that, that motion, allow me to recognize again or note that we have some schools in the galleries, public gallery, Kabutei Secondary School from Tinderet constituency, Nandi County, and we also have Nyakiambi Secondary School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County. Join me in welcoming them to the House to observe the proceedings of this House. This is meant to be moved by the Chairperson Committee on National Development Constituencies, National Government Constituency Development Fund. I am in receipt of a communication that it has been delegated to Honorable Clive Gisairo to move.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Government Constituency Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraph 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Regulations 2016, approves the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies, committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Number 1, Isiolo South Constituency. Number 2, Lunga Constituency, 1 member, which was an amendment. Number 3, Kuria West Constituency. Number 4, 1 member, Homa Bay Town Constituency, also was an amendment. And Kitui South Constituency. Honorable Speaker, it is important that we have all these committees in place because we're in a new financial year. And as we expect Treasury to start releasing the funds for this financial year, going by the fact that the motion for the ceilings was tabled yesterday and adopted by this House, we expect that each constituency to have all their CDFCs adopted by this House, approved by this House, and gazetted to ensure that service delivery to the people in all constituencies in Kenya is done in a timely manner to ensure that as we abide by the law, which says that all projects need to be completed by 30th June 2026, that no constituency remains behind. It's my hope that this House will adopt this list and approve the same to ensure that they are properly in place and the gazettement takes place soon as possible. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move, and I would like Honorable Toroitich, Member of Parliament, Marakwet West, to second.
Honorable Timothy.
Honorable Speaker, I rise to second. Thank you.
Honorable members, I therefore propose the question that this House adopts the report of the Committee on National Government Constituencies Development Fund laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, 6th August 2025, and pursuant to the provision of Section 43(4) of the National Government Constituency Development Fund Act, Cap 414A, and paragraphs 5, 2, and 10 of the National Government Constituencies Development Fund Regulations 2016, approves the list of nominees for appointment to the following 5 constituencies committees of the National Government Constituency Development Fund. Isiolo, we have Isiolo South Constituency, we have Lunga Lunga Constituency, Kuria West Constituency, and Homa Bay Constituency, Homa Bay Town Constituency, and Kitui South Constituency, and the names are as in the order paper. Honorable Owen.
Honorable Speaker, it's very important, Honorable Speaker, that the CDFC committees are in place to ensure implementation of the projects as approved and funds disbursed. But also, Honorable Speaker, I want to note with pleasure that for the first time we have all the money that is owed to CDFCs given, all of it, including the balance from previous year. I think we need to commend the chief at Treasury, the Honorable John Badi, for a good job, and the Treasury people for a good job. I think for the first time we have all the money coming. And I think I also want to commend the chairperson, Honorable Sirma, and the young Clive Gesairo. I think you'll make a good leader as you progress in your second term. The people of your constituency should consider you for a second term because you're doing a commendable job. And one day you'll also become a majority leader. And I pray for you for the good job you're doing for CDF. But also I want to underscore the importance of CDF in our constitution. I have seen and are perturbed actually that when we approved the amendment to the Constitution, that there are people who are actually going to court to block the putting of the CDF in the Constitution, Honorable Speaker. I think if there is a fund, in this country that works, that even my good friend, Dr. Makalu Muli, agrees with me. If there's a fund, and when he becomes governor of Kitui, if he becomes, he will not go there and turn around and fight CDF and take CDF to court. Because CDF has actually shown that we can transform this country. The education sector in this country has been transformed through CDF. If there was no CDF, Honorable Speaker, the people of my constituency would not be having schools. If there was no CDF, Honorable Speaker, there would not be a chief's office in my constituency, Honorable Speaker. So as we approve these names and push for the entrenchment of CDF in the Constitution, Honorable Speaker, we want to thank the people who are behind that force. And we want to thank the people in that parliament, I don't know whether it's the 7th parliament or which parliament, that actually gave birth to the idea of CDF. Honorable Speaker, I support Honorable Clive and the report he has presented and request that these names be gazetted as fast as possible so that these members can start their work to implement the projects that have been proposed. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. And
Very
I support.
well. Honorable Makali Mulu.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to support the names for the board members. And it's important that Kenyans know that these are the people who actually are in charge of NGCDF. And it's not the honorable members of parliament. Honorable members of parliament are just patrons. So these are the people who go through the proposals. These are the people who conduct public participation to identify what is to be funded. And these are the people who release the money to the project management committees for implementation. These are the people who also follow up and make sure that whatever has been planned to be implemented is implemented. And these are the same people who also hand over the projects to the community members once they are completed. So it is important that all the constituencies have this board in place. And that's why I'm so happy when I hear 5 now additional boards have been are going to be approved by the House so that they can be gazetted. But as majority leader said, Honorable Speaker, it is important, and we have said it many times, if there is a development model which works in this country, it is NGCDF. The approach to development through this NGCDF, Honorable Speaker, has been assessed not only by us, but by external evaluators, that it is the best model to implement. How I wish, instead of saying we do away with the CDF, we would be saying this model should be adopted by the county governments, and if possible, the model should also be adopted by the national government when it comes to development projects implementation, because that will help the country. But you see what is happening, Honorable Speaker, there is a lot of undercurrents in matters NGCDF. Some people think that this money is pocket money for members of parliament. Far from the truth. The truth is, this is one of the programs which has touched the lives of Kenyans, more so through the education sector and the security sector. And of late, Honorable Speaker, the environmental sector, where a lot of resources have now been pumped to the environment so that we try to mitigate the issues of climate change. So, Honorable Speaker, I support and I want to urge everyone in this country to ensure that even if members of parliament are not going to be part of the NGCDF, that NGCDF remains, because it is of huge benefit to Kenyans. I do support.
Mwangi from Teto, are you on this? No. Bowen Kangogo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support that motion. And Madam Speaker, it is important the 5 constituencies, constituencies, they have their committees in place. Because the Honorable Speaker, the CDF committees are very important, especially in running out those programs in the constituencies. And Madam Speaker, given that now we are beginning a new financial year, and we have a lot of faith, like the Honorable Leader of Majority has said that we have a lot of faith with the Honorable John Badi that is going to disburse the money very soon. It is important that we have this officers are in place. Because it is through those CDFC's committee, Honorable Speaker, that the bursaries we give to our students in colleges, in secondary schools, and even in universities, those committees are the ones who normally sit down and vet those who qualify those bursaries. Madam Speaker, it is important also to know that the Treasury, and also with the introduction of the electronic procurement system, it is good we have these individuals get into their offices very fast, because I know in many of our constituencies also, they are being trained on EGP. So as soon as we approve these names, Honorable Speaker, they will also enable them to be onboarded into the e-procurement trainings, and for them to be able to execute their work in their constituencies. Madam Speaker, I don't want to say what my honorable colleagues have said about what the CDF has done in our constituencies. And even as we push to have the CDF entrenched in our constitution, Madam Speaker, it is the only money which is devolved to the crown, and every structure you see now, even in a county, in every 5 structures you see in a county, almost close to 4 or 3 are CDF projects. So, Madam Speaker, as a house, we need to protect CDF by all means, because CDF doesn't benefit members of parliament. The CDF doesn't, benefit the national government. The CDF benefits the local wananchi. Many, Madam Speaker, individuals, young people who may not have managed to go to school have been supported by CDF. Some they have been supported by CDF throughout their secondary school, even to the universities. And now they are professionals in this country in one way or another. So, Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, I want to support that we approve these names so that they can go down straight to their constituencies and start work immediately. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Nyenze, are you on this?
Yes, Madam Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to say that on the onset I support this motion on consideration for nominees to these 5 NGCDF funds. These are very important committees because actually they are the ones who are in charge of the fund. The fund's accounts manager is the accounting officer. Together with these committees, they come up with the proposals of the projects to be done. They are the ones who are in charge of training the PMCs, that is the project management committees. They are the ones actually who are in charge of this fund as a whole. So having these constituencies not having the committees, then is a disadvantage to them. I can see that some of them are just maybe replacing them, and therefore I actually support to say that I approve this list and say that it's really very important. NGCDF has done wonders in our country. It has brought a lot of changes, a lot of development, especially on the infrastructure. In terms of education, the bursary has assisted a lot. Families who could not take their children to secondary schools are now able to educate their children through the bursaries from NGCDF. And also, there are so many students who have gone through universities who could not actually be educated because of a lack of school fees. But this fund has brought a lot of transformation in our country. And therefore, I approve this, and also say that members of parliament went through public participation, and people on the ground, Kenyans actually approved and said that NGCDF should continue. So whoever is taking NGCDF, again after public participation to court, this one is uncalled for, and Kenyans, I'm sure, are not with them. So with those few remarks, Madam Speaker, I support these nominees. Thank you.
Very well. I don't see more interest. Honorable Zamzam.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kusema pia Mheshimiwa Spika, NGCDF imesaidia sana, na kama vile Wakenya waliweza kutoa amri wakasema iendelee, kwa sababu Mheshimiwa Spika, nakumbuka wakati zetu tukisoma kule nyuma, wakati ambapo ilikuwa basari iko mahali moja, Mheshimiwa Spika, ilikuwa hatuna mtu wa kutufikia huku juu ndio tuweze kupata. Kwa hiyo tulisoma kwa shida, wazazi wetu wakauza maamri, wakachomeka na moto kuweza kuona kama sisi tunakaa darasani, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na wakati mwingine ilikuwa tunafukuzwa. Wakati moja nakumbuka nilikaa chini ya desk kwa sababu baba hana pesa, mama hana chochote, baba ni mgonjwa na mwalimu amenifukuza shuleni. Nikaona nikienda nyumbani baba akiniona pressure yake itazidi kupanda. Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nilikaa chini ya desk nikisomea hapo mpaka siku moja sister, ilikuwa sisi shule yetu ni ya Catholic, tulikuwa tuna principal wetu anaitwa Sister Helen Kian mzungu, akawa anatafuta chini ya miguu kuangalia nani hajavaa socks, na mimi niko huko sasa nimejificha, sina school fees na lazima tu nikae darasani. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kusema wazazi wengi katika Kenya hii walifuatia shida nyingi sana kabla hizi basara zijakuja kwa wabunge, Mheshimiwa Spika. Na mbunge anawakilisha kule chini kabisa mashinani. Yeye ndio yuko karibu na mwananchi, yeye ndio anajua matatizo ya wananchi. Kwa hiyo vile wanavyopeleka hii na inasaidia, mimi napenda kusupport na niseme waache kutatiza. Na hata ngafu hii yetu Mheshimiwa Spika, na unaona sasa hii wengine watu wapigwa madongo kila mahali, imekuwa mama county sasa. Kazi ambayo anafanya watu wanauliza hii ilikuwa wapi siku zote? Manake tunafika mashinani, tunatoa empowerment, kina mama wanang'ara na biashara, vijana wanang'ara na empowerment. Yani mambo yanaenda mazuri. Wengine tunajenga GBV center ambayo kwamba muda mrefu pia haikuweza kujulikana kuwa sehemu fulani na matatizo weze kuwekewa sehemu kama hizo. Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nataka kusema hizi fedha ama funds za NGCDF na ngafu watu waache kututatiza, manake sisi tunataka tu huduma ifike chini. Magavana wafanye kazi yao, maseneta nao wafanye kazi yao, manake kule seneta sasa imekuwa hao ndo wanakuwa wanasulubu wa Kenya. Wakenya wakizungumza hivi, ikipita bunge ikienda kule wanazungusha upande huu. Sisi tunasema hatuna vita na masenators, kila mmoja aangalie kazi yake na kila mmoja aeke ile matakwa ya wananchi katika moyo wake. Manake hata hao magavana tukiwapa pia tunajua kazi yao wanafanya kazi gani. Waangalie hospitali, waangalie barabara, waangalie ECD schools, wana mambo mengi ya kuangalia sana ndani ya county. Waangalie mambo ya afya. Afya inadorora, waangalie huko. Haya mambo mengine ya kuingilia mbunge waachane nayo, manake Kenya muda wote tumekuwa kwa amani, tumekaa kwa vizuri, isipokuwa haya mambo ambayo yanatokea sasa hivi sijui nani anasukuma. Lakini mimi nasema tu shetani atashindwa na Wakenya watashinda, kwa sababu hawa watoto wamekaa hapa juu bila kupata basari ya kusoma ama bila kupewa mwelekeo wa elimu. Hawa watoto leo wasingekuwa hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika, na hii kazi yote inafanywa na hawa wabunge ambao wako hapa, Mheshimiwa Spika. Kina mama kule muuza mboga, usijui muuza simsimu, wote unapata wameleta checks zao. Na ndio maana unaona hata ishajulikana kuwa hii ndio kitu inashika wananchi. Unaona kila mahali empowerment, utapata wamama wamekuja wengi, wanafuata vile wanaweza kusaidika kule mashinani. Kwa hiyo mimi nasema kila mmoja angalie sehemu yake, na wabunge waachiwe NGCDF wafanye kazi yao. Kina mama county tuachiwe ngafu yetu. Kwanza isitoshe ni kidogo sana, hata tuongezewe, manake hii imeshika kila mahali. Kina mama county 47 ni 4 billion peke yake, lakini unapata kuna mtu mahali tu anasikia kiwaru tu, inamuuma, inamsokonyoa tu, kwa nini anapewa? Kwa nini wanafanya hivi? Kwa nini nawasongeza? Kwa hiyo Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nasema tuachwe na funds zetu. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Mheshimiwa Zamzam, sijajua kiwaru kama ni lugha ya bunge.
Mheshimiwa Spika, wanasokonyoka, wanakulika ndani ya moyo. Yaani inawauma kuona sisi tukifanya kazi. Mheshimiwa Spika, ndio kiwaru. Asante sana.
Before I give ukiweza kupeleka iwe kikiviazi haikui sawa. Maanake inapotea. All right, honorable members, before I give the mover to reply, allow me to recognize again in the public gallery, we have Blessed Alamano School from Likoni constituency, Mombasa County. And in the speaker's gallery, we have Golden Elite School from Kisumu Central in Kisumu County. I join all of you and I join members to welcome all these children and all these learners to observe the proceedings of the House. Mheshimiwa Zamzam, bado hujamalizana? Umeshaguza watoto wako? Haya, dakika moja.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, na mimi niweze kuchukua fursa hii niweze kuwakaribisha watoto wangu ambao wanasoma katika shule ya kutoka Likoni. Mimi ni mama county wenu. Nataka niwaambie elimu ndio msingi wa maisha. Asikusumbue mtu, asikudanganye mtu, kama tunavyosema nyumbani, don't touch hapa kwangu, wapi hapo, hapa kwangu. And we show hizo sehemu zote, kwa sababu ukikubali ushikwe hapo utaacha masomo, utapotea njia, hautakuwa hapa bungeni kama mama county. Kwa hiyo mimi nawaomba someni kwa bidii. Kama kuna matatizo yote ambayo mnayo, ofisi ya mama yenu iko wazi. Walimu ambao mmekuja hapa na wanafunzi, mimi nawapa nguvu sana na niwapongeze sana walimu kwa kazi nzuri ambayo mnafanya. Kama si nyinyi leo pia sisi wabunge tusingekuwa leo hapa bungeni. Kwa knowledge na elimu ambayo umetupatia leo sisi wabunge tuko hapa tunapigania matakwa yenu ya kule mashinani. Kwa hiyo wanafunzi, kesho kuta nataka kuona mama county ama MP ametoka katika hii timu ambayo imekuja hapa leo kuangalia vile tunavyoendeleza bunge. Asanteni sana na Mungu awaregeshe nyumbani salama.
Aya, yametosha basi. Aya, Mheshimiwa Gisairo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I think taking into consideration the great contributions by all the members in this House on the importance and significance of NGCDF, it is important. However, I would like to just take a shot on our majority leader, Owen Bayer. I heard him say that 100% of the funds have been disbursed. Honorable Owen, you know, we are in a different financial year. We cannot be talking about the last financial year. We need to be proactive. Actually, we need to start knowing why Treasury is late in disbursing the first quarter funds for this financial year. As per the Act, actually, the money is supposed to be sent in the first month, that is July, because the committees do not pay for the work after, right? The money has to be there for the committees to start working. So for this financial year, we are actually currently running behind schedule. And we would like to request that Treasury, as we do our part as Parliament, they also do their part in a timely manner so that we move this country forward together. Honorable Speaker, I beg to reply, but Honorable Speaker, pursuant to Standing Order 53.3, I beg we defer putting the question.
Very well, we shall defer the putting of the question, the next available time. Next order.
Order number 13, motion, consideration of Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022.
Honorable Simon Kingara, member for Ruiru.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to move the following motion: that the Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022 be now considered. Madam Speaker, we have been following on this bill here in the National Assembly. It went to Senate. It has come back to us with an amendment. And Madam Speaker, I'm in agreement with the amendment because actually the amendment is enforcing of gazettement of what is in the clause 3 of the bill, whereby the Senate proposes that the registration be gazetted, and it is in order, noting that we are dealing with public land, because the matter is touching public land. It is important when you touch public land, the general public should be notified. And one of the ways of notifying the public is going to the gazettement, whereby through gazettement and the timing of the gazettement, we can use it as a relevance when we did a legislation, Madam Speaker. Noting that people might maybe disagree with the registration, and when you have pulled and pushed the matter all the way to gazettement, it shows that it has followed the due process of making an amendment through the National Assembly and Senate. And actually, noting that also there is an agreement, Madam Speaker, between the two parliaments, giving respect that we are in a bicameral parliamentary, whereby we have to agree one matter must be agreeable in both houses. This matter has been agreed in both houses. I, as the owner of the amendment, am in agreement with the amendment, and so I request that this process be completed, and I ask Honorable Retiree, Kirinyaga Central, to second. Thank you.
Honorable Retiree. Move. Did you move, Honorable?
Yeah, I move. I request that I move the amendment.
Very well. Honorable Retiree.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I support the amendment by Mheshimiwa King'ara. Honorable Speaker, this is a bill that tries to, when we are doing subdivisions in pieces of land, when we are preparing the master plans, there are public utilities. And those public utilities, what Honorable King'ara is trying to do is to say, when you are doing the other titles, all the titles for public utilities should be produced at the same time. The import of this, Madam Speaker, is that we solve the problem of a public utility, maybe it was a school, a nursery school, or any other utility. Madam Speaker, even if it's a school, Madam Speaker, when it is done, the title goes to PS Treasury. So I support, and it is very timely, and congratulations, Honorable King'ara.
You are to second.
I second.
Very well. Honorable members, I therefore propose a question that the Senate amendment to the Land Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 40 of 2022, be now considered. Before I indulge members, allow me to recognize in the public gallery Aremi School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County, Tumaini School from Molo constituency, Nakuru County. I take this opportunity to welcome them to the House to observe the proceedings. If you intend to speak on this, use the intervention. Honorable Owen.
Yeah, I want to join the Honorable King'ara and congratulate him for his work around the issue of public land. Honorable Speaker, I want to inform you that the Honorable Kingara and I, in the 12th Parliament, served together in the Committee on Lands. And in that committee, I saw his diligence, I saw his ability and his passion for actually protecting public land. And this piece of legislation that is bringing forth, Honorable Speaker, is about protecting public land. As you're aware, Honorable Speaker, we have lost a lot of public land to unscrupulous land grabbers, Honorable Speaker. People who are just eyeing public land. The only way to do that is to ensure that those titles of those public lands are issued at the same time when other titles are issued. You know, Honorable Speaker, the problem has been everybody else gets a piece of his paper, the title, but the public land title is not issued at that time. And therefore, it becomes vulnerable for people to actually... Honorable Speaker, you go to a settlement scheme, a big settlement scheme where everybody else has a title. The school in that scheme was given the land at the same time as the other people. But the title for that public school has not been issued. Or the title for that hospital has not been issued, Honorable Speaker. And because of that, Honorable Speaker, we have run into the danger where every time titles are for public institutions are not given, and therefore people take advantage and actually steal those public lands, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, many of the schools that we have in this country do not have titles, and yet the neighbors have titles. And you ask yourself, so what happened? Because somebody actually issued the neighbors with the titles, but refused to issue the school with a title. But we are saying, Honorable Speaker, henceforth, when we pass this bill and it is assented, all public lands must be issued with titles at the same time as others, so that, Honorable Speaker, the amendment from the Senate, which I agree with, and which the Honorable Kingara agrees with, is that it be immediately gazetted. Be gazetted that this is public land, this is a police station, this is a hospital, so that nobody comes to overturn that decision at any other time. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I support the Senate amendment, and it has contributed to good legislation. And Honorable Speaker, I said this, the spirit. The spirit is, if we pass law here that touches on matters that are at the level of the Senate, Honorable Speaker, if it goes to the Senate, we don't have to always come to mediation or cantankerous laws, Honorable Speaker, laws that, you know, and we seem to be fighting, Honorable Speaker. This is the House of Parliament. And when we pass a law that the Senate approves, looks at and improves in its content and its form, Honorable Speaker, we have no issue. We agree. And I think that is the spirit of the bicameral Parliament. And therefore, Honorable Kingara, I thank you, and I want to tell the people of Ruiru they have a good legislator in you, and they have no reason not to give you a third term to continue the good work that you're doing. I thank you.
Honorable Jane Kihara, are you on this one? Give her the microphone.
I'm here. Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I also rise to support the amendment by the Senate. I served with Honorable Kingara in the Lands Committee, and I know he has been at this for the longest. Madam Speaker, as we talk now, there is a land of my Mahiu Girls Secondary School. Everybody in the neighborhood knows that that land was for the school. But somebody has gone to lands, he has gotten a title, so now the school is fighting over that land. Suppose that title was given when the subdivision was being made or when the school was going to get that title. So this is very, very important. We have seen even the land buying companies, when they leave public facilities, eventually the same directors, because they know where they left these pieces of land, they go back and subdivide them or grab them. So this is a good law, and I support it, Madam Speaker.
Thank you very well. Honorable Makali.
Yeah, thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I also want to appreciate Honorable Kingara for this important legislation. But I'm just wondering, Honorable Speaker, whether it has not come too late in the day. Because, Honorable Speaker, if we were to document public land which has been grabbed, starting from schools, road reserves, hospitals, public beaches. The list will be endless, Honorable Speaker. I know it is not possible, those who are legal minds, I know it's not possible to apply some law retrogressively. That is going backwards. But I think, Honorable Speaker, we need to come up with a mechanism to ensure that anybody who has grabbed public land, because if you go to the original maps, and we have surveyors here, if you go to the original maps, you'll be able to know originally this land was set aside for what. And even most of our estates, Honorable Speaker, you realize that land set aside for our children to play has already been grabbed. Land set aside for police posts has already been grabbed. Land set aside for health centers has already been grabbed. So you have a whole estate, and you can't have any place you can put a public facility like a health center, Honorable Speaker. So even as I support, I think as a house, we need to take up the challenge and ask ourselves, is it possible that we go back and look at where the rain started beating us so that we are able to recover this land? Because so long as land was grabbed, Honorable Speaker, even if it was done 40 years ago, it still remains for public land. If we were to go that direction, we'll have so much land for our public utilities that there will be no need to start buying. Honorable Speaker, at times I get so much annoyed. I feel bad as a Kenyan that you see land which was originally public land, the government coming up later and buying the same land from a, you know, it doesn't make sense at all. If you follow the story of the NSSF, Honorable Speaker, the history of the NSSF, once upon a time in this country, NSSF was buying land which actually used to belong to the government. It is awarded to a majority leader. For example, I'm giving an example. People don't, let Kenyans not mistake. It's given to Honorable Mbaya, and within 1 year or two, Honorable Mbaya comes with a title, indicate that land is private, and he sells to the same government. This is craziness, Honorable Speaker. And that's why we are saying, I think this law, we need to support it, but even after becoming an act of parliament, I don't know whether we need to set a special committee to look at these matters, although I'm sure it is going to be a very hot potato, but this is the way I would want us to go, that if you grabbed public land at any point in the history of Kenya, let the land go back to the public so that Kenya can sell some of this land and make money. We can actually sell this land to individuals and then pay our public debt. We'll be helping this country. And I'm sure you can pay our public debt if we are to recover all the land and sell to private individuals or private companies, Honorable Speaker. With those many remarks, I support.
Very well. Before I come to Honorable Kingara, I'll indulge you, Member for Molo. You have had very many students come today, so I'll give you 1 minute.
I thank you, Honorable Speaker, for indulgence. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome to the National Assembly the future engineers, future lawyers, future members of parliament, future presidents, future doctors. And these are the great students of Retiree Primary School, Nyakembe Secondary School, and Matumaini Primary School to observe the proceedings of this House. Honorable Speaker, I've always taken it as a habit when I visit these schools to invite them, especially the uppermost class, to come and observe the proceedings of Parliament, to come and see that there is life outside Molo. Because one of the things that we have to really do and grow as a people is if we encourage integration, we encourage people to work and live in different parts of this country and to realize that there is a lot of opportunities out here. So thank you for your indulgence and I'd like to welcome the students to observe the proceeding of this House. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Very well. Honorable Kingara. Hold on. Honorable Njeri, are you on this one or it's the former one that you had done? Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Allow me to commend the Honorable Member, Kingara, for this amendment. I believe it is timely that when developers are constructing any, or maybe coming up with future plans, they also ensure they encompass and think about the public utilities and amenities that will be needed by the public. Further to that, Honorable Speaker, we do need to have a serious national conversation with the Ministry of Lands in regard to titleage of public land, Honorable Speaker. As we speak, we know that there's various parcels of public land that are in contention in regard to where the title deed is, who owns the title deed, and also private encroachment on public land. In Kirinyaga County, for example, Ngiriambu Primary School land has been encroached by private individuals. And this is a government institution that has been in existence for many years. So we need to resolve these matters, Honorable Speaker, so that our future is safeguarded. Thank you.
Very well. Honorable Kingara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But pursuant to the provision of Standing Order 53.3, Madam Speaker, I request deferment of putting of the question on this motion.
It is assented to, and honorable members, order number 14 was subject to the decision of order number 13, so we will go to order number 15 and defer this for another day.
Order number 15, motion, consideration of report on the examination of financial statements for the National Humanitarian Fund.
Honorable Fatuma, Chairperson, Special Funds Account Committee.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that this House adopts the following audited financial statement for National Humanitarian Fund for the financial year 2020-2021, National Humanitarian Fund for the financial year 2021-2022. Honorable Speaker, the committee received oral and written submissions from Mr. Raymond Omolo, the Principal Secretary, State Department, Internal Security and National Administration, and the accounting officer of the fund, regarding the audited financial statement for the financial year 2020-2021 and 2021-2022. The submissions formed the basis of the committee observation findings and recommendations. These are also contained in the minutes and answered reports of the committee proceedings. Honorable Speaker, in preparing and developing this report, the committee relied on the constitutional and legal provisions on the public finance management and other enabling legislations as the basis for inviting the accounting officer of the National Humanitarian Fund to respond to issues raised by the Auditor General, as well as the additional information submitted on the administration and performance, financial and non-financial, of the fund, to come up with general recommendations geared towards effective management and operations of the fund, as well as improved accountability and financial reporting. Honorable Speaker, during the examination of the audited reports, the committee made the following general observations which apply across the two financial years. 1, at the time of the audit, 4 banks' accounts were dominant and were holding idle funds despite provision in the Act and completion of disbursement of grants to IDPs. This is in contravention of the provision of the Section 16(2) of the Prevention and Protection Assistance to Internally Displaced Persons and Affected Communities Act 2012, which provides that accounting officer may, with approval of the Cabinet Secretary, for the time being responsible for the finance, invest, or place on a deposit interest earning account any of the monies of the fund, and any interest earned on the monies so invested or deposited shall be placed to the credit of the fund. 2, the fund did not have a functional committee since its 3-year tenure expired in 2017, resulting in no funds being disbanded and no payment schedules being prepared due to the absence of a functional committee. This contravenes the Prevention, Protection, and Assistance to Internally Displaced Persons and Affected Communities Act 2012, which prescribes the fund administration procedures, including the compensation and functions of the committee and secretariat. 3, the committee recommended in relation to both issues, the Cabinet Secretary for the Ministry of Interior and National Administration should reconstitute a functional National Consultative Coordination Committee on IDPs to facilitate the winding up of the matters related to the fund within 6 months upon the adoption of this report. Honorable Speaker, it is for this reason that on behalf of the Special Funds Accounts Committee, I am proud to move this motion on the consideration of the report of the Auditor General on the financial statement for the National Humanitarian Fund. Honorable Speaker, I beg to move and I now request Honorable Catherine Omanyo, who is a committed committee member, to second the motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Member for Busia.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I second the motion and I ardently support our conclusion. I was questioning as well, why should we have a lot of money lying in the accounts for internally displaced people, yet they are displaced because they do not have a place to call home and they lack social amenities, yet we have all the monies in the account. If somebody is displaced in their own country, we have a lot of idle land. We have land being sold everywhere in this country. Why not use that money to buy land and settle them? So we questioned, and unfortunately, up to date, the issue is still at stake. And I pray that one day, no Kenyan will be displaced. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Very well. Honorable members, I therefore propose a question that this House adopts the report of the Special Funds Accounts Committee on its consideration of the audited accounts for the National Humanitarian Fund for the financial years 2020-2021 to 2021-2022, laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, 29th July of 2025. Honorable Makali.
Yeah, thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the Committee on Special Funds for this report. The report is looking at the National Humanitarian Fund. And as I've listened to the chairperson moving this bill, Honorable Speaker, I was asking myself very many questions. This is a humanitarian fund, which means it's supposed to be having a lot of human rights issues in it. And you hear that money has been in that fund for over the years, and the money is not being used. And now they are recommending that we form a committee, or the minister forms a steering committee to determine how the funds can be used. Now, this report is for 2021-2022, if I've listened well. Today we are in 2025. Does it mean for the years between 2023 up to date, Honorable Chairperson, the money is still in the account? Is that the implication? Or does it mean then the 6 months you are giving, are they from the date of your report, or are they for the earlier years? I would have wanted to see that clarification. Maybe when you are replying, you could educate Kenyans on that. But what is very critical, Honorable Speaker, is the fact that we have a minister in that ministry, we have a permanent secretary in that ministry, and they know the term for this steering committee expired. And unless the steering committee is there, Honorable Speaker, nothing can move in that humanitarian fund. So the question is, why does it have to wait all the way up to the Auditor General to pick that information and have a Parliament draw a recommendation to have that steering committee in place? For me, Honorable Speaker, these are the kind of things I'm saying. If as a country, Honorable Speaker, we have to develop and go far, we must demand accountability from officers who are in charge of these institutions. And unless we hold officers accountable, Honorable Speaker, for sure, this country will remain, we continue saying we have no money, we have no resources. Imagine, Honorable Speaker, we are borrowing money through the domestic market. This government is borrowing money through central bank, sale of treasury bills and bonds. And this is money lying there. So even if we didn't want to use the money for the displaced persons, This money the government would have used to do other things, and at the right time, refund the money back to the fund. But you can see, Honorable Speaker, we are borrowing money at a very high interest rate, and these are the resources. And that's why we have said, Honorable Speaker, many times, that it is important we have what we call a single treasury account. And the Honorable Minister for Treasury promised that from July this year, we'll be having that account. I hope now the account is operational. Because if we had this account, Honorable Speaker, all this money lying in different accounts, belong to different organizations and MDAs, Honorable Speaker, would be in a central place where Treasury can easily use the money. And when the time comes and you need the money, then the money is given to you. So these are some of the challenges the country are facing. And it is very hurting. You know, it disappoints, it discourages when you hear this kind of reports coming from our chairpersons, just stating the situation as it is. And you ask yourself, as a Kenyan, is this the way we want to do is this the way we want to conduct our business? I'm sure, Honorable Speaker, we can't go this way and go far. So we need a serious shift in the way we do our things. And this can only come if the kind of reports I've listened to are implemented to the letter. So I think we need our Committee on Implementation and our majority leadership, because they're the people representing the government. These are the issues, these are the low-lying fruits we could pick as a country and move this economy to the next level. With those remarks, Honorable Speaker, I want to support and say that those recommendations given there, we should be able to track or monitor them so that within 6 months, whatever the chair has recommended is implemented. It's going to be good for this country. Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Fatuma.
Thank you, Honorable Member, for your concern. Madam Speaker, I would like to put it across that the accounting officer, who is the PS, do not have the mandate to constitute a committee. It's upon the CS to put up a committee. And so it would be wrong for him to start giving out or doing payments or disbursement to any victim without a committee. A committee must sit down and pass that that person needs to be paid. Again, Madam Speaker, there is also an ongoing court case that some IDPs, could be true or not true, appeared and said the people who are being paid are not the true IDPs and they are the true IDPs, and the matter is in court. In such a scenario, even if the committee was there, how would the PS pay these people, yet there is a court case that is saying that they are not the right people to be paid, and there's a list of other people who claims to be the right people? It makes the work very difficult for the PS, and I'm not defending him. I'm saying as chair of the committee that this is the scenario, and this is what the Auditor General brought to our table. This is what members looked at, and we looked at it thoroughly. And for purpose of record, we called the PS twice. He appeared once. The answers were not satisfactory. We recalled him again. He answered the queries, and that is the position. At the moment, the money is still lying in the accounts because he cannot pay without a committee, and he cannot pay when a matter is in court. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Okay, honorable members, I don't see more interest on this bill, on this motion, so we'll ask the chair, the mover, to reply.
I wanted to...
Honorable member for Busia, you're the one who seconded.
Yes, I wanted...
So, you wanted to?
To contribute, because we were all worried why there was no committee. And
honorable member for Busia, you should have put that when you're seconding. You cannot then again support the same that you seconded. So let the chair use this opportunity if there is anything to put straight as you reply.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I have done my part. But Honorable Speaker, in pursuit to the provision of Standing Order 53, 2.3, I request the deferment of putting of the question on this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
In accordance to Standing Order 53.3, we shall defer the putting of the question on this motion. Honorable members, we have exhausted the business of the day. Be upstanding. And the time now being 5:28 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 12th August 2025 at 2:30 p.m.